Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Brittany, my colleague, is going to be joining us. She was having a little technical difficulty, but she should be with us here real soon. It looks like we got several of you that are coming in, and I see Denise, and I see Kathy and Stephanie. Looks like Nebraska, Chicago. Where else? Indianapolis. So cool. So I want to welcome each of you guys here for being here with us. I'm really excited. This is one of my most favorite topics. I'll tell you why here shortly. So I'm kind of just seeing, I want everybody just to, it looks like we have Nicole from California. Welcome. And Leslie from New Jersey. Hello. You guys won't be on camera unless we invite you at some point. Sometimes we do that, so it's just easy just for you to just hang out and listen and enjoy. And you please feel free to use this chat feature that we have. I'm going to see if I can invite Brittany here again. So give me just a second. She should be coming on screen here soon. So we have the chat feature over on the right side. It may be on the bottom of your phone if you're joining by a cell phone. You can do that. There's an app, Crowdcast app, that you can use. There is a feature called Ask a Question, and that Ask a Question feature is super helpful if you guys want to ask us something. So hello, Brittany.
Please tell me you can hear me.
Can we hear you? I can't hear you, but it's okay. Stay with us. Maybe they can hear you. Can anybody hear Brittany?
Please comment and let me know if you guys can hear me.
We were online like literally just probably an hour or two ago doing another live, and we could hear her then, so we don't know what's going on. But hey, Deborah, it's glad to meet you.
Denise can hear me.
I hear you, Brittany. It's just me. So maybe it's something on my end with one of my connections. So I don't know. I'm going to see.
Well, thank you for commenting, everybody.
Test. They all can hear you, Brittany.
Yeah.
It has to be something on my end then. I'm afraid if I mess around with stuff too much, I'm gonna lose people. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm gonna unplug and plug back in. Okay, Brittany, talk.
Can you hear me? Hello, everybody. Hello, test.
We'll make this work. As long as
that's okay. You, I was going to say, I'll just stay on. And
just kind of wave whenever you have something to say, too.
Okay, that sounds good. We're going to try and do our best. The show must go on, right?
And I have my chat open on my other screen, Brittany, so you can always kind of...
Okay. I got it open on this side, too.
Hello, it looks like we have Kathy, Gloria, Diane. We have all kinds of people joining. Oh, Deborah was with us on screen before. I think I remember you, Deborah. Hello, thank you for coming back. That's so exciting. And Elise, am I pronouncing that right?
Elise, that's a pretty name.
Well, we'll get started here, guys. Our topic tonight is mindful eating practices. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't joined us before, basically what we have here is we do live events on a monthly basis, support groups. We also do weekly live topics on the same channel. So if you haven't yet followed us, Brittany, probably have her help me with posting the link to our channel. And you guys can open that in another tab and follow us because you'll get notifications of all of each time an event is getting ready to start about 10 minutes before, a little pop-up will pop up, and you can use that same link for the replay because we can't always be on our computers 24/7, which is probably a good thing. For those of you who haven't been here before, we'll tell you a little bit about ourselves. So my name is Brenda, and we've been doing these events now for some time, probably a little over a year. I actually, before working for ProCare Health, is our sponsor, and they're helping us with these and helping us put these on as far as being an advocate for this. And so we'll talk a little bit about ProCare in a moment. I was telling you about, I kind of got a little lost in myself there. So I worked as a bariatric coordinator for about 8 years, and I worked for a weight loss surgery program out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I'm from Missouri. Brittany's from Illinois, but we kind of live within a couple hours of each other. And that's how I got to know ProCare. We sold their vitamins out of our clinic, and I love them and love their products. And so just kind of gotten to collaborate some with some different things. I traveled with them for a couple years to conferences, and really got to know a lot about what they offer, and loved what they have to say. So I became part of their team, just as Brittany did. I also, some other little history that I tried to pull in, I also was a surgery patient myself. I had weight loss surgery back in 2013, a sleeve gastrectomy, and it's totally changed my life in so many good ways. I also have always enjoyed these kind of things. Like, I've always enjoyed personal development and kind of healing techniques. I worked in an emergency department for about 20 years, and through that I kind of figured out that I wanted something more than just the Western medicine stuff. So I started studying healing measures, and so became a certified healing touch practitioner. So I kind of like intertwine a lot of those little pieces. You might find that some of what we offer is a little unique in this niche. And then Brittany, tell us about you.
Yes.
I'm just going to read your lips.
Okay. So for anyone who's new, my name is Brittany, and Brenda and I do these support groups, as she said. In case she didn't say when, they're usually every third Thursday of the month. Sometimes we will have something come up that happens to be on that Thursday, and so we'll make it the second, but for the most part, it's every third Thursday. We also do our weekly live events that you can find on our Crowdcast channel, and I went ahead and posted that in the chat below there. And she muted herself. Okay. Sorry guys, I lost my train of thought. So I've been with ProCare Health for about a year or two. I've been doing these support groups with Brenda for, I think next September, it'll be a year for me. I think she did do a couple without me though in the beginning, but this is our favorite part of our job. We love hanging out with you guys and talking with you guys and just getting to know you guys. And if you guys could actually share your reason why you got weight loss surgery in the chat below, we would love to know, because that's also one of our favorite things that we like to share with you guys and hear. So this is a safe space. This is all for you guys. So don't be afraid to ask any questions. It's totally anonymous, by the way. If any of you guys were wondering about being brought on camera, you'll only be brought on camera if we ask you to. And at that time, you can still either accept it or reject it. So the ball is totally in your court. We're not going to make you do anything you don't want to do in this group. Okay. So I think that's basically it. Unless Brenda, do you have anything? You muted yourself. No, I can't hear you. Raise your hand if you miss support groups in person because of this. I still can't hear you. No. Oh, it says you're muted again. And I also, while we're waiting for her, while we're waiting for her, I went ahead and posted the links for the handouts that we're going to go over tonight too. Why did that not load? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, this is a brand new topic that we have not done yet too. So I'm really interested to see what she has to say.
I'm back.
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay, we got it fixed for now, right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
To reverse comorbidity negative outcomes and improve my quality of life. Oh, so true. And I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah, I did it for my health. It was experiencing heart failure. Wow. That's a big reason. You want to read Deborah's?
Yeah. I got weight loss surgery for my health reasons initially, but it was also to give myself more self-confidence as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got that confidence.
Yeah, and I was able to actually, I don't know if there's anybody here from Knoxville, Tennessee. I went to a support group there last evening, and all of those people, there was about 20 of them, they were all pre-op, and it just warmed my heart so much because I can remember so much what it felt like in that initial stage. And I remember feeling, you know what? One of the girls stayed after, and she was near tears. She was about in her mid-20s, and she just said, you know, I can't decide yet if I want to do this, but I feel like I'm just scared. I can't make the decision. And I said, you know what? I remember feeling like that too. And I always just prayed about it and just thought, if this is meant to happen, it will. If not, God, just close the doors, because, you know, you don't know. It is scary. It's a big decision to make.
Yeah. Pre-op people have a special place in my heart too, because it's everything's so new, and you're trying to do your research the best you can, and it is, like you said, you said it really well. It's just a really big decision. And anytime you make a really big decision, it can be scary, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's benefiting you or you hope it's always benefiting you, but it can be really scary. So we can also talk about that a little bit tonight too, if you guys want. If anyone's pre-op, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and it looks like we have a couple more people that commented. Diane says, there's something to be said for online as well as in-person support groups. This brings in my surgery was any more people from all over the country. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you know what? We're all alike, regardless of where we're from, what, nationality, we all have a lot of the same things in common. And Deborah says it's very scary. And Diane says, I decided on surgery to age gracefully and healthfully. Should have done it years ago. And many people say that. I remember we did surgery in our program, people in their 80s, believe it or not, 80s. Yep. Because it doesn't matter. It's all about quality of life. The other thing I want to say is my biggest thing, and ProCare posted something on their Facebook page this week, Brittany, and I know you shared it too.
Yes.
It said, it's all about, making those changes. And to me, it was about what was scarier, staying the same or going through something that I didn't know the outcome. And for me, it was scarier staying the same.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else can relate to that.
And not making a change and staying, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we want you guys to continue to chat in the box. We'll kind of keep watching that. And there's a little feature that says ask a question. If you didn't hear me already, if you're just joining, that you can put on there questions to ask. We've kind of preloaded that with a few, kind of a little bit of an outline of what we're going to be talking about. And so what do you think, Brittany? Did you have anything else to say before we get started?
Oh, just that I'm excited about this topic. And I posted the handouts too. I just want everyone to know that. And the third link is our Crowdcast channel. And at the end of the support group tonight, we have a little gift for you guys. And I'll be sharing that with you, as well as our Crowdcast channel. I'll share my screen and we can go through all of that. Because I feel like we do have quite a bit of new people here tonight.
I think so too. And if you
we'll
can't
do
stay
all
for
that.
we'll do all that. And if you can't stay for the whole thing, which sometimes people schedule, sometimes we last an hour, sometimes it's an hour and a half. It depends on the topic and how many people are talking and that type of thing. We'll just kind of see. But if you have to leave at any point, you can always come back and listen to the replay. And on the Ask a Question button, there's actually time stamping for each of the different questions. So you can kind of maybe see where you left off and then just continue there. So the replay is available fairly soon after we stop. Within probably 5 to 10 minutes, it should be available. So you're always welcome to come back if there's a piece that you missed and want to listen to. So let's get started. You don't have to print the handouts. You could just listen, and then later if you want to go back and use those handouts, you can do so. So I just want to bring that up. And I'm looking at a couple different screens That's kind of why I am focused in different areas here. So the agenda tonight is we're going to talk about defining mindful eating versus mindless eating. We're going to talk about a little simple process to help change your perspective about eating, to help you be more mindful, and I'm going to call it AIM, A-I-M. It's something that I just kind of created. And then a tool, number 3, a tool to incorporate into your daily routine to help engage in more intentional eating. So that's what we got going. Any questions before we get started and I start sharing my screen? Once I start sharing my screen, Brittany will keep an eye on the chat for me because I won't be able to see that.
We have one question already. It's in the Ask a Question feature, though. So do you want me to hold off on that?
Yeah. Just hold off, and unless it's something I need to address right away.
Me too, mother. I take a program for the last 6 months. Yeah, we'll have to come back to that because I think that she got cut off, actually. So it doesn't even look like it's a question, but we will come back to that. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Good. And I'm seeing it now. Leslie, you can go back and you can kind of edit that or you can add to it. Okay, so I'm going to...
And also, guys, I'm getting over a cold, so I'm going to be drinking lots of water today. Because if I don't, then I start to get a cough in the evening. So just letting you all know.
I don't know. I'm just glad I can hear you, Brittany. That's all.
It's not the corona either.
She knows because she was tested.
I was, and I'm vaccinated, but yeah.
Can you see my screen, Brittany? Is it?
Yeah,
sharing?
I can.
Okay. So mindful eating practices. There we are, and we already talked about what we're going to be talking about. So we're gonna kind of just jump on to the next slide here, which is defining mindless eating versus mindful eating. And there's 8 different ways to basically really use to look at whether you're mindful eating versus mindless. And what I want to say is the big reason of using mindful eating to me is a sense of being more powerful. And what I mean by that is sometimes we get really discouraged, disheartened about certain things in our life, and we don't feel like we have control over them. And so the one thing we do have control over is our emotions. We have control over somewhat. If you start feeling an emotion like anger or frustration or guilt or shame or whatever it is, there's nothing wrong with that. That's your body and your, I'm going to call it your GPS system, your internal GPS telling you, okay, there's something you need to be reevaluating here because it's not the truth what you're telling yourself. It's that GPS system saying, okay, find something to feel better about this situation. And being mindful helps us kind of go full circle and helps us be more intentional about our everyday life. It can kind of help free you from more unhealthy habits and that endless cycle of worry and frustration. And I think bariatric surgery really helped me with that because it kind of took out some of the, I'm going to say guilt and frustration and all of that because with weight loss surgery, it helps you make better choices. It's like a tool. It helps you with feeling better about what you're eating because if you eat something that's not really aligned with your body, you're going to know it. You may get sick, unfortunately, or not feel so good. But it's okay because the tool is a tool, and that's what it's meant there for, the surgery, and it's there to help you with being more mindful, So we'll get started. Anything you want to add to that, Brittany, before we kind of go on?
No. I'm going to go ahead and start answering Leslie's question, though, if you don't mind.
No.
And I'm going to read it out loud because there's a good chance a lot of you guys might have this issue too right now.
I'm going to stop sharing then, Brittany, and I'm going to go ahead and post on there so that we can put it that we're answering her question. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just don't want to forget about her.
Sure.
Okay. She said, I am 18 months post-gastric sleeve, and I take the ProCare Health 18 milligram iron multivitamin every day for the last 6 months. The pills make me extremely nauseous to the point where I've started skipping my many doses. I stopped taking them in the morning on an empty stomach, but it doesn't help very much if I take them with food either. do you both have much experience with this problem? So from the prior support groups that we've done, and just talking to patients in general, it's not uncommon for you to sometimes feel nauseous after taking your multivitamin. Now, that being said, she says pills. So to me, this means I'm thinking you're taking the capsules. I'm wondering, have you tried the chewable formula? Because some people can't handle the capsule formula, or vice versa. Now, also another trick or tip that I wanted to let you know was try taking them at night in the evening instead of in the morning. That way, when you maybe make your last meal of the night, and then try taking it either with food or without food and see how it goes, if you can, if that helps. Also, if you take it in the evening, before you go to sleep, when you start to get nauseous, you'll sleep through that experience and you won't feel as nauseous. Right, Brenda?
Yes, and you mentioned a lot of good things, Brittany, and I have one hack. I'm going to actually post a link here too. Brittany and I did a whole live on the 5 key hacks to be able to say I can finally take my vitamins. But one thing that has helped me more than anything else, and I don't know why, and this is something that we have never talked about before, Brittany, I don't think, is what I started doing is I love I feel like ProCare Health, their multivitamin, and I'm not just saying this because they're sponsoring us, but I feel like they're one of the most complete vitamins, and I wanted to be able to do that. So what I've been doing is I think I'm sensitive to the gel cap. The gel cap that it comes in, and the
veggie
cap.
Yeah,
and
the
what
veggie capsule.
Yes, you can actually take that gel cap apart, pull it apart or cut it with the scissors, and you can empty that into a food. So Greek yogurt or peanut butter are my 2 favorite things. Neither one of them you can hardly taste it at all. Peanut butter probably over the Greek yogurt because it just masks the flavor even more. And I only mix it with a tablespoon. And I mix it up really good, and then I eat it like that. And I have had absolutely 0 problems since I've been doing that. And I used to be... Honestly, I used to struggle too, and I was almost afraid to take my vitamins because who wants to take a vitamin whenever you're going to get sick and throw up? Nobody.
Well, yeah.
Or just get sick, nauseated.
Right. It just, that's a good trick though. So you can actually, if you're using those capsules, she's right. You can just kind of twist it apart and you can dump it into some kind of food and try and mask it that way. And then your stomach's probably less likely to be upset and you feel nauseous if you eat something with it too. And then she said she's never tried the chewable, but at the end of our presentation tonight, I'm going to show you guys our website, and I'm going to show you how to get free samples, because in every free sample, they give you a sample of our chewable. So,
absolutely.
So at least you could at least try it for free, and see if it works better than the capsule. Maybe you're like Brenda and those veggie capsules just, you don't agree with you.
Yeah, and a lot of supplements over the counter, not just vitamins, come in the gel caps. So
yes, a lot of them do.
And you can. Brittany's right. You can. There's a little area in the requested sample that you can ask specifically for certain things, but usually the chewables are always included in there.
Sorry, guys.
We're getting nice
up
close
and personal today. No, my laptop's about to die, so I had to plug it in. Okay, we're good now.
Holly's joining us too. Hello, Holly. And Deborah says, I had nausea as well, but went to the chewable. Yes, the chewables for some people do better. Can you guys see my screen again by chance? Are we back?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about mindful eating versus mindless eating. And here we're going to talk about 8 different principles. So mindless eating, number 1, eating past full and ignoring your body's signals, versus mindful eating, listening to your body and stopping when full. This is probably for me one of the biggest, because I've always been a fast eater.
Oh gosh, me too.
Have you, Brittany?
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like it's partly a family thing, a genetic thing, because my whole family eats pretty fast. But then whenever I started being in nursing, and you literally sometimes only have like 5 or 10 minutes to eat, who else
Hmm.
is with me? Like, raise your hand in the
Well,
little chat box.
and if you're used to doing something else, like something else mindless, like watching TV or something while you're eating, I noticed that it's like sometimes, I'll look down and be like, where did all my food go? I didn't eat all that.
Or you're like, oh, why don't you have this full bag of chips? I mean, chips is my hugest weakness, and I have to be so careful. But I'm just saying, like, you'll look down and they're there, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
So, and I remember right fresh post op, one of the biggest things for me was overeating because I ate faster than what my new stomach could keep up with, more or less. Even one single bite, even one tablespoon can make a difference between being comfortable and being miserable. Anybody else relate to that? So, like, really, I think it's about really slowing down. And I've heard this before. It's like one of the things that's really helped me grow over the last 2 years. And it's kind of been a mantra of mine. And I don't even know if I've even told you, Brittany, but it's go slow to go fast, basically. In other words, if you slow down everything, in your life, what happens is you start catching up with yourself, like who you really are. And then you can take off to go fast. So, just kind of a fun little thing.
Gerald said, "Hi, I'm Gerald from Kingston. I'm assuming Ontario. ProCare health products have made my weight loss journey much easier. Today, I'm 20 months post-op, gone from 533 pounds to 229. Awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes. Oh my
That is so
God, that's
amazing.
awesome.
I am so proud of you. I'm hearing a phone, and I didn't think I brought mine along, so um that's wonderful, and I'm glad you're enjoying ProCare stuff too. I mean, it's always good to hear that, isn't it, Brittany? Especially
Yes.
when you're working for a company and you, I mean, we know we love him, but it's always good to know that other people have that
Good
same thing.
experiences.
Good
Yeah.
experiences, yeah. Number two, eating when emotions tell us to eat. So you're sad, you're bored, you're lonely, and eating versus mindful eating when our bodies tell us to eat, stomach growling, low energy. And being able to differentiate that is huge, huge, huge. I can remember years ago, it's probably been 15 or 20 years ago, I had this dream. And my dream was about my eating practices. And basically, basically the dream was telling me that I was a big emotional eater, like in the dream. And I can't even remember it, but it was like one of my big realizations that, man, that is what's controlling a lot of what I'm doing. And that's part of why, at that time that I was really overweight. So it's very easy. I think my biggest things as far as emotional eating is being bored. Food, sometimes we feel like it'll give us energy, and so, which it does, it can. And so sometimes whenever I'm like tired, I'll eat. Um, I don't know if that's really an emotion, but kind of feeling maybe like low energy or sleepy or maybe bored. Um, but those are my biggest things. How about you? Anybody else want to tell us what their biggest emotional eating trigger is?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if boredom is really an emotion per se, but like if I'm home by myself, like let's say it's a Saturday afternoon and I have nothing planned and my husband's gone golfing and I'm here by myself, then I notice I'm snacking. I'm going to the kitchen more than I probably should be. And I think it's just because, like you said, I'm bored.
Yeah. Yeah. How about anybody else? Anybody else out there want to tell us what their biggest emotional eating thing is? And two, I think sometimes being sad or lonely.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, if I get upset about something sometimes, and sometimes it's a reward thing, like I'm happy and I'm excited, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to celebrate. So that can be another one too. Versus, how often do we eat when we're actually hungry? Like, how often do we get actually hungry? It's very rare for me that I do because I think I'm so programmed to eat at a certain time. But like getting hungry, meaning that your body actually needs fuel to go forward. Like I have on
Yeah.
here, stomach growling, you feel like your energy's low, you feel like your blood sugar's low. And a lot of times
Um,
bariatric surgery patients will experience different symptoms like low blood sugars and things like that, and they definitely know it's time, because sometimes you forget to eat after weight loss surgery because you're so it's almost like those hormones in there. They call them gremlin. They're in the
yeah.
upper part of the stomach. They don't always remind us, of those hunger signals. Number 3, we have eating alone at random times and places, and versus eating with others at set times and places. And I have to laugh at this because I even remember when my kids were little and I'd get like a little stash of something, maybe it was chocolate or whatever. And it was like, okay, I'm gonna go hide because I got this chocolate. I don't want my kids to have this. Just more or less being selfish.
We've
Like,
talked
how
about that
crazy is
before.
that? It's so funny. Anyways,
Hmm.
anybody else relate? Raise your hand on that one. um, so the other thing is, if number 4, eating foods that are emotionally comforting. So instead of foods that are nutritionally healthy, comfort foods. I'm from the South. Brittany's from the South. We're in an area of states that comfort foods are a big thing. Restaurants kind of gear around that. Portion sizes gear around that. The bigger the portion, the better.
That's, yeah.
Southern cooking, everything's fried. Some of the foods are not necessarily when you go to a restaurant. I was just thinking about that today. It's like, man, I wish that there was some restaurants here close that was, because I needed to grab something to eat that was a lot more just like whole foods and more healthy. Besides just shakes, we have a couple of places that sell protein shakes around here, and sometimes I go for that. But I was wanting something just really like fast food, healthy. But sometimes it can be hard. You just got to pick from what you have and try to make it as healthy as you can.
Yeah, I agree. Gloria said something that's really, I think, really important to talk about too. The surgery only slows down your eating habits, but they do come back, and we have to continue to work on it. That is, oh my gosh, 100% true, right, Brenda?
Yes, yes. I think that first year, the surgeon that I used to work for used to say the surgery that first year is all about like making your lifestyle different. And the surgery makes it so easy to do that. But
Yeah,
what happens sometimes is just exactly what you said. You get back into those old patterns. So you just got to remember, continue moving forward with those newer set patterns. And when you find yourself slipping back, reevaluate. There's nothing wrong with that at all, because when we've had certain patterns for our whole life and maybe even generations, it sometimes makes it a little harder,
yeah.
you know. So good point. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Here we have number 5, eating while multitasking, sitting at your computer or desk versus only eating while without doing anything else. And I've tried to get better at this. This is really, if you're like with this whole last year, 2 years of changes, a lot of people are working from home. And I don't know about you, Brittany, but I do find myself like, I don't really take a lunch break very often just because I'd rather be working. And I know that sounds
Oh,
crazy, but I love my work. And so I just keep going. How about you?
I was guilty of this today. The sitting at my desk and eating. It's not in here anymore. I did take it down. But yeah, I know I was guilty of this literally today. I do set aside at least 30 minutes to sit down and enjoy my meal, though.
Do
At
you?
least usually today was the exception because I was just crazy busy trying to catch up with things. Um, But yeah, just make sure you make time. Just sit down and actually enjoy your meal.
Yeah, and even if it's by yourself,
Yes.
I love going and sitting out on my front porch and just watching wildlife or um, enjoying everything instead of even watching TV. Because sometimes to me, watching TV is a big distraction while I'm eating too.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it can be a distraction, and sometimes just focusing on what you're eating. I've done exercises before where you actually close your eyes and you take a bite, and then you try to use your senses, all your senses, to try to really taste the food and experience it. It's interesting because how often do we really do that? How often do we really experience what we're eating? It's just like you're eating just to be. It's good if you're eating for fuel, but if you're just eating mindlessly, it's can be a little daunting, I guess.
Yeah.
Number 6, eating while problem solving or thinking. You're deep in thought versus savoring the foods. I was just talking about this, the taste, aroma, the texture of the foods. Try that sometime. Try just taking, even if it's just a one-time thing, just really sit and use all your senses, especially your taste, your smell, your looking at the food. I mean, that's one of your senses, your sight, your hearing, maybe certain foods, as you're either crunching them or whatever. I mean, it sounds kind of silly, but sound can be a part of that. So just using touch, how your food feels or looks, that type of thing. Number 7, non-intentional eating. Feeling guilty, judgment, or shame versus choosing foods intentionally. And I want to say something about this because I feel like this is really big. Like, I know it's big for me. It's been big for me, and I think it's big for a lot of people who have either had weight loss surgery or undergone it. My daughter even brought this to my attention. She now actually works for ProCare. I don't know if she's on the call tonight. Madison, if you're on the call, say hi. She's just graduated from college. She's close to Brittany's age. And she was telling me about a lot of her friends in college with eating disorders and how big it is. It was really a big deal. A lot of them had bulimia, had so much guilt and shame after eating something and just feeling awful about it. And I remember even being that age and feeling that way, because a lot of times we're kind of programmed community-wise to think that we're supposed to be eating a certain way, certain foods, certain times. And if we go out of that, we can feel guilty, shameful about it. Do you have anything to say, Brittany? Because I don't know if you've noticed this with any of your friends or...
So, I went to, it's not like a super small college, but it's smaller than Mizzou, where Madison went. I went to Southern Illinois University in Edwardsville, SIUE, if anyone's familiar with that. And I had a friend that went to Ohio State, and I would go see her probably every year. I'd say just about every year we'd go and hang out and catch up. And it was cool because I'd get to go see, her school and hang out with her friends. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of girls that were in her sorority and really on campus anywhere that struggled with those things too. And I want to say a trigger warning in case anyone's, triggered by even just talking about these eating disorders. Mm-hmm. But a lot of those girls struggled, and I think it was because just they're so impressionable and they feel like the pressure of the world on them, and they have to be perfect all the time, and they have to have, be the size 0, like they have to be the smallest, or they have to look the best, and it's kind of, I hate to say it's that age because that's not necessarily true. There's people that are, not in that age bracket that suffer from these disorders too. But it's like you said, it's the weight of the world, I think. And it's the impressions that the world makes on these people that you have to look a certain way to be loved and accepted. Mm-hmm. And I feel so sorry for people who struggle with that because that really breaks my heart. And You know, sure, everyone here on this call knows a size 0 is not the only beauty, and there is no number to beauty, actually. So I kind of got off topic a little bit, but
No, not at all. It's I guess we don't always have much control over that, like
right.
what everybody else is thinking and doing. But
Yeah.
we can be okay with being ourselves.
Yes.
And
actually, what's funny is I was just thinking this today when I looked at the clock. It was 11:30 or it was close to noon. I forget what time it was. And it might have been 12:30 actually. And I'm like, gosh, I haven't eaten lunch yet. No wonder I'm hungry and I'm like crashing and I'm tired. It's because, I need to feed my body something. And what's funny is that I was like craving something that was good for me, because I've been kind of going through this thing where I'm working on myself, not just physically, but mentally, trying to accept myself and love myself for who I am and figure out who that person is. And I just was thinking this, at lunch, I had that intentional thought, like I think this is what you're trying to say is I was like, I want to put something good intentionally in my body. I want to fuel my body because I love myself and I want to show my body that I love myself. Might sound kind of silly, I guess, but
not at all. In fact, it looks like Deborah said the same thing. We need to love ourselves. And there's some other comments here too. It looks like somebody said, I'm eating because I'm bored. The surgery only slows down your eating habits, but you have to come back and continue to work on it. I think you read that one. Emotional eating is hard for me. Deborah says, I'm working at no snacking. Gerald says, when eating because of boredom or emotional eating, I find it's important to eat the right foods. Raw veggies, for example. Chew your food slowly in quantity. Take your time. This is a good method. That's a great idea. I hadn't thought about that one. Is like snacking on things that are good for you. And then Deborah says, I realize that even if I watch TV, my mind wanders off and I start to think about other things instead of focusing on my meal. So true. Well, I'm going to go ahead and keep going here because we got quite a bit more, and I want to make sure and be able to share everything with you. And then we have some other things to share with you at the end, like that discount code and all of that. So check in with your values to help reinforce skillful behavior. Maybe ask yourself a few questions. What need are you trying to fulfill? Is it moving you away or towards your goal? What is the choice that you feel best about? And what amount of food will keep you satisfied? So those are some things that might help you in making a decision. And food equals pleasure. So food is a great pleasure in our life, not something we should compromise. We simply need to shift our surroundings to work with our lifestyle instead of against it. So food can be your friend. So don't ever let anyone tell you that food is the enemy. It should be a pleasure. Food is your friend. This is a great mantra because if you start thinking that food is your enemy, your body reacts to that and it's just a cascade of things. So remember, food is your friend and food does fuel you. Food does help you. You can enjoy it without feeling bad. And now I'm going to just kind of jump into something here. So I'm going to go to...
Hold on, I feel a tickle. Might have to mute myself.
You're gonna sneeze. She's muting herself. So remember, the one key thing to remember about food is it can be pleasurable. It is your friend, and it's something to be enjoyed. It's something to make a good relationship with. Next, we're going to start talking about something called AIM, and I kind of created this. It kind of came to me during a meditation, actually. I do a lot of meditation, and I was just like trying to figure out what's the best way to teach this subject. And the three things that came to me was being in alignment with what you want. So aim for your end result. The second thing is intend for things to go well, trusting in the process. And M stands for minimize your feelings, neutralize experiences. So we're going to be talking about exactly what that means. We're going to start with the A first. And so A is alignment for the end result. So creating an end result and align with it. And I'm going to kind of read the slide, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. So think about what you're wanting and be mindful about it. So Our whole life can involve mindfulness. When you become a master at mindfulness, every act is simply a prayer, an invocation, or a devotion. Regardless of any kind of religious affiliation, whether you have that or you don't have that, we're not talking about this here. We're talking about it being an intention, a strong intention. And so we're not only talking about weight loss, but that is part of what we're talking about here. But weight loss will come as a result, and what you want in your overall life, your needs and desires bleed over into other areas. So creating new thoughts and possibilities. Our body has its own symphony and harmony, and whenever you have an intention, your body wants to work towards that, and intentionally starts creating that for you. So matching those tones with well-being and kind of vibrating back into health. Hope that makes sense. Any questions about that? Kind of aligning. So thinking about what your end result is, if it's weight loss, if it's just being more healthy in certain ways, if it's just feeling better about your choices, if it's about eating foods that are high in energy that'll bring you back to a certain point of health. So that's what we're talking about end results here. What do you want as your end result? Being mindful about that. Secondly, we're still in A. I had one extra slide. So most specifically, the things in life we can control. And I was talking about that a while ago. Sometimes it's easy to be a control freak and try to want to control everything. But we can't always control like the external things that seem outside of ourselves that they're really just a reflection, honestly, of things inside of us anyways. The things inside of us, the peace that we have around food, letting go of guilt, frustration, anxiety, remembering that you don't have to feel guilty, feeling lighter, so less lighter mood, less worry, lighter essence, breaking free of old patterns. So we were talking about this earlier, the ways that we've done things a million times. It's okay. We can break free. And it's about just kind of like maybe not buying those things, not having those things in our environment, that type of thing to try to help with breaking free. Being happier with our choices and decisions. So knowing that you are making decisions and that you trust yourself enough to go with those. Wearing clothes that feel flattering. And I know this kind of sounds silly, but have you ever noticed how good you feel whenever you maybe dress up a little bit, or fix your hair, or if you're a girl, put on makeup, or just buy something new? I know that sounds crazy, but for me, I just went out recently and went shopping for a wedding this weekend, and it was so exciting because I was like, it makes me excited about going and feeling good, This is a big thing that we're kind of talking about. Denise says yes, and Deborah says it should not be a struggle. Miss Deborah says yes. Posture. And Brittany and I are learning this with our fitness coach, Amy. Amy Posados is a wonderful gal. She's been teaching our whole ProCare team for the last month or two all about fitness, and she's been coaching each of us individually and as a group, and we love her. And she's going to be joining us live with a series of 3 events coming up for all of you. You guys are going to love her. I'm not kidding. Don't you think, Brittany?
Yes.
She is amazing. So on the next 3 Wednesdays, skipping the first Wednesday in September. Yes. Skipping that week, we're going to have 3 consecutive Wednesdays, 1 o'clock Central Standard. If you're on a different time zone, you can just find that on the ProCare channel, but it's amazing. I mean, she has lots of the good things. She's helped us with our posture. And to me, that's been one of the big things. You hold yourself with confidence. It helps me feel stronger in my core. Diane says, thank you. It's been enlightening and enjoyable. Time to start my local support group meeting. Yes. Yeah, join your local ones too, especially if they're in person. There's nothing better than that.
Yes. We're glad to have you though, Diane.
Yeah, thank you. Continue coming with us too. We love having you here. And being okay with yourself without having to be a certain way, letting go of implied imperfections. And that's exactly what we were talking about a while ago, Brittany, when you were telling your story about, we were talking about college, and how that is. So breaking the illusion that you must wait to have all those things. It's simply not true. You can have most of those things right now that we are on this page. You can have peace. You can feel lighter. You can break free of old patterns. You can be happier with yourself. You can have a better posture. All of those things. Next, we're going to go to I, because of time here, and intend for things to go well. So trust in the process. So being in the now as if it's already happened. Be or feel successful. This is what I'm talking about. It's like everything's happening now. You can feel successful right now, regardless of what has happened in the past. The past is the past. Be consistent with your processes and new habits. I've heard this a million times, but showing up is 90% of success. Just showing up.
Yep.
Never say never. Never get up on what you want, no matter what. If it's something that's deep in your heart and it's drilled in there, then I'd say just continue to go for it. Continue to move towards your goals, pushing through any pain or struggle that may have held you back. And there's lots of ways to do that. One of those things is support. And Diane mentioned that a while ago, support from friends and family. And there's a couple blogs that I had that I pulled up. Find your support system and taking care of your mental health. Brittany, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing for just a few seconds here, just long enough to share those two, because I bookmarked them. I'm going to copy and paste the links in case anybody wants those for later. So this is the link. Paste it. These are ProCare blogs on support. So I'm going to just post both of those. You guys can you can just open those in a new tab and read those later if you're interested in them. Here's the next one. Okay, so there's two of them. And I'm going to go back to sharing my screen now. My entire screen. Go back. Okay, can you see it?
It's loading, but yes.
Okay. And the last one is minimize experiences. Be increasingly neutral about things. So I'm going back. Is it unfrozen now?
Yeah, it froze for me too.
I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to go
Do you
back
want me
over
to
that.
share my screen and see if it'll maybe not freeze for me? Because I have it pulled up on mine too.
It don't matter, Brittany, if you want.
Oh, now it's not working.
Let me try it one more time. Let me know if it freezes, guys. Oops, sorry there. Okay. Maybe it won't be frozen. Good old technology. We've had our share, haven't we, Brittany? I feel like
we have.
Yes. So basically what I'm saying is with the M is minimize any kind of reaction to things. And the mantra, I don't know if you guys even caught that. We hear you. Yay. the mantra, everything's happening for me. Again, how many of you have had something happen that seemed catastrophic and the worst thing in the whole entire world, only to learn months or years later that it was really something that benefited you in some amazing, entirely big way? For me, last year, I worked for a surgical weight loss program, and the program closed because of COVID and a lot of other things, and it was just really sad and hurt. I mean, I hate it, but I absolutely love what I'm doing now, and I get to work with Brittany and see all of you guys and be part of you. So you just never know where life's going to lead you.
Nope, you sure don't.
Leslie said that's most of my life. So true, so true. So I'm just going to kind of real quickly just repeat. I'm hoping I'm not going to lose you because I'm just going to repeat what I was.
Uh-oh. She'll come back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it froze again.
I wonder if it's when I'm sharing my screen for some reason.
Do you want me to try and see?
Well, don't worry about it right now because I'm almost done. I'm done with pretty much that part of the presentation, and I'm just going to do a little summation.
Oh, okay.
And then I do want to share our handouts here in a moment, so I'll let you share those. Will that be okay? Maybe that'll help.
Of course. Yes.
So AIM. What does A stand for? Anybody out there? Does anybody remember? I'm testing them. See if they remember, if they were with me.
Pop quiz.
So nobody's answering, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, AIM. They put AIM. A stands for alignment. So alignment with the end result of what you want. Kathy did it. She got it on there. Thank you. So A stands for alignment with your end result. Keep in mind what you want and stay focused on that. Don't focus on the negative parts. Just focus on moving forward with what you want. Okay? I. What does I stand for? Anybody remember? We're frozen again.
No.
Are we frozen, Brittany?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, somebody else is saying frozen. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Crowdcast might be having issues tonight.
Intend. Kathy says intend. She's listening. Intend. Be intentional. Intend. Have faith. Have faith that things are working for you. Know that it's going to be okay. Don't worry about imperfections. Just keep moving forward. And then M. Does anybody remember what M stands for?
Do, 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 do.
M. Minimize. Yes.
Kathy's on the ball.
Really listening. She is. I love her. Minimize. So minimize your reactions to things. Minimize how you feel about them. Know that everything's going to be okay. Everything's working out for you, regardless of what it looks like. Detach from the result. Detached, like it doesn't matter, and that everything's going to be okay, and that you are covered in every way possible, that you're being held, and there's a higher version of you that knows what's best, and that and everything is moving towards that. So that's AIM. And I have 2 handouts. Brittany, I'm going to let you pull those out.
Okay.
First, pull out the one that is the journaling exercise. That's
yes, I have it right here.
Descriptions, maybe.
My own mindfulness journal. Yes, okay.
So we have a journal, and we also have a little description that you can use each time you eat. So we have those 2 as our tools. And it's 6 o'clock now, so we're right hitting the top of the hour. We don't have much more to share. This is our last thing. But if you do have to jump off, we understand. You can always come back and listen in. Do you want me to try to pull them up, Brittany, or were you going to?
Oh, you want me to actually share my screen? I'm sorry. I thought you meant share the link.
I can try again. Let me try again.
Yeah. No, I can do it. I have them right here.
Do you? Do you want to?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Can you guys see that?
Yes.
So I went ahead and shared the links again for these handouts in the I just got an itch. Oh. That was weird. I put it in the chat box. So Brenda and I are just wow. Okay. I was thinking about what happened earlier on Wednesday. I don't think we can share that with them though. But
I'm trying to think. I don't even remember what it was. Oh.
When I had to go to the bathroom.
We both had to take a break at the same time.
Yeah. It's so weird because we're hours apart, but like I don't know, same wavelength or something.
We think a lot alike. Just saying.
Okay, so back to this. Let me zoom out a little bit. That might be helpful, right?
Yeah, and so the first page is just the journal. It's just like a little cover. And honestly, you can use this template we gave you. You can print off the page just to be able to use, or you can just kind of write down and journal your food. It's just kind of to help you be more mindful. So the time, the day, what you ate, what your hunger level was before and after. So 0 being not hungry, 10 being more hungry than you've ever been before.
Like starving.
How you felt before, yes. How you felt after, and the contributing factors to that. And what it does is it helps you become more aware of why you're eating, why you ate as much as you did, and basically how you felt and how eating that food, how it maybe triggered something, it made you feel good, it made you feel bad, and just becoming more mindful of it so that you can change patterns if that's something that you need to. And then the second thing we have here, so this template's all the same. It's basically just 2 pages of the same kind of questions. What I ate, how I felt, like how hungry I was, how I felt before, how I felt after, and any contributing factors. So it's just like a journaling exercise, okay? Just to kind of help you. And then the other thing that we have here, as far as the handout.
Hold on, I gotta get back to this page. Hunger descriptions. I got it. I'll zoom in a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but what I'm going to talk about here is a journal, is a book. Okay, we talked about the journaling exercise, meditative writing. It's pinpointing certain emotions and why you're eating. And Brittany, kind of scroll up just a little bit. This was taken from a book on mindful eating, and it's Jan Chozen, Chozen Bay.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
Yes. Kind of go all the way up until it says 7 types of hunger as follows. And we're just going to kind of let you see those and kind of think about that. This is one of the handouts, guys. So you can actually use this with the journaling exercise. So I hunger. You see something and it influences your hunger. How many of you, raise your hand, if when you were preparing to have weight loss surgery and you were on a liquid diet, or right after you were watching TV and like every commercial seemed like it was about food? Or you may even feel that way now. Who else feels that way? I hunger. Like you see something, or you go to a restaurant and there's pictures on the menu and it's like, oh my God, that looks so good. And it influences you to eat it. Deborah, it looks like we got a couple yeses. Nose hunger. Oh my gosh, this is a big one. Oh, like whenever I worked at the hospital I worked at, there was a steakhouse right next door, and oh my God, the smells were amazing. I love steak, by the way. But yeah, like, or you walk into someone's house like over Thanksgiving or Christmas and you can smell all those amazing, wonderful cooking smells. Mouth hunger. My mouth is watering right now. It triggers a response. If we want to be satisfied, we must be aware of what we're putting in our mouth. Does your mouth want salty, sweet, sour, crunchy? One of the big things that we kind of talked about when we were talking about Amy, our trainer that's working with us, she's also really into nutrition and food substitutions. And we actually did a live, and we have a guide on that too as well, which we'll share. But it's so substituting something for, or am I thinking about, did we do it on food substitutions, or it was on
Healthy food swaps.
Healthy food swaps. Healthy food swaps. So it's all about finding something, like if you're hungry for chocolate, maybe it's chocolate pudding or a chocolate protein shake or chocolate, finding something else that feels better for you. If it's chips, maybe finding something like kale chips, or I didn't even know they made them, but they make cauliflower chips. She was showing us. You can order those online. Finding a substitution that helps you while still feeling satisfied, but helps you with that craving. Stomach hunger. Check how your stomach feels throughout the day. What are your signs of hunger? Is it the clock? For me, that's a big one. Whenever I start knowing it's a certain time, maybe noon or 1, or maybe it's 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I don't know. It's like, it's crazy. It's like our bodies become programmed to want to eat at a specific time.
Like right now, it's 6 o'clock where we are, and I just keep thinking about what I'm gonna make for dinner.
It doesn't help that we've been talking about food this entire time.
I
know. Cellular hunger. This is interesting. So conditions such as the seasons, how does that influence whenever it becomes winter or fall? We were talking about fall. We're going to be doing an upcoming live about, oh goodness, help me remember. Healthy snacks. We're going to be talking about healthy snacks.
Oh, yeah.
And we wanted to add in fall recipes. And I was like, oh my gosh, pumpkin, cinnamon, dehydrated apples, all these good things. And I'm like, wow, it's crazy how much we think about the seasons and food. Christmas, what kind of recipes go along with that? Thanksgiving, what kind of recipes go along with that? So your body does has wisdom. So I'd say sometimes we it's not just about the seasons, but it's about what your body needs. Sometimes when we think we're hungry, maybe we're really thirsty. Maybe our body needs some salt. I know it's crazy, but like sometimes, like if I'm out in the heat and I'm sweating, sometimes I need something salty. So it's your body may be craving for something. Like say you're craving chips. Maybe you're craving chips because of the salt, or maybe you're craving a dill pickle because of the salt. So kind of like listening to your body's cues about what you're wanting. And maybe it's fat. Maybe your body needs some fat in it, so you're going to be craving certain kinds of foods. Mind hunger. And I'm going to just say, like what we read, think, and hear about food obviously does impact our choices. And especially with bad diets being so popular, many of the advice of different kind of diets conflict with what you think is right. And it's just hard to know, like, it's like hard to know what to even eat sometimes because there's so many different kinds of advice out there. So mind eating can also include eating because it's free or cheap, or that you don't want to waste food, like the clean plate syndrome. So it's one of the most challenging because we have to kind of quiet our inner critic and think about that a little bit. I hope that makes sense. Basically, we're saying what you want conflicts with what society says. So it's about listening to your body instead of listening to everybody else, what your body needs. Heart hunger. So here we're talking about kind of being emotional, and we talked about that already. So intimacy with yourself, eating to cope or boredom or celebration when being tired. And so that's everything I have. I have all of those, and this handout is available on the link. And also, if you can't access it on the link on the ProCare on the ProCare website, www. I'll post that. www. I'm afraid to share my screen again because of it freezing.
I'll do it.
Okay. Is the ProCare channel. And we're going to share a little bit about our discount code that we came for all of you staying with us. We love you all, and we hope it was beneficial for you. It looks like we have a couple people commenting on our sponsor, which is ProCare. We try to make this about the topic and so not so much about them, but we also want to share about this too because it's so some of their products are so incredible. We want to share them. It looks like Deborah says, my calcium chew has cinnamon roll. Deborah says, the other Deborah says, my favorite calcium chews are the dinner mint. So yummy. Brittany, yours is cinnamon roll, isn't it? Or what is yours? Mine's sea salted caramel.
Yeah, the cinnamon roll is my favorite.
Somebody says we need a sample. Show them where the free sample button is there first. There.
So here, let me go back in case I did that too quickly. So this is our homepage, and if you click up here, can you guys see that? Or am I not?
I can, Brittany. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
See where it says free sample. So you'll go ahead and click that. And you're just going to fill out this information. It looks like a lot of info, but it's really not. It takes like 5 minutes. If you're really good at typing, probably less than that. And here in your message box here, guys, this is for if you want to try any specific products. So like we were saying earlier, we were talking about our calcium chews. They come in 3 really good flavors. If you have a specific flavor that you would like to sample, just type that in there. And it looks like our dinner mint is still out of stock right now. But it should be back on the website soon. And we'll make sure that we put a post together whenever it's back in stock too for you guys. So you know.
It looks like Kathy says the dark chocolate calcium, yum. And the other Deborah says helps curb sweet tooth after meals. The dark chocolate calcium should be coming back really soon. It's seasonal. Usually when the cold weather starts hitting, maybe October. Brittany, is that when it is? I think it's October.
Hold on, actually, just a second. I have some right here. I can show you guys. Since it's going to be coming back soon, I can show you guys.
So I know I can't wait till they're back in stock. They're so delicious. They're kind of like they do help with the sweet tooth because I am a chocolate lover. Anybody else out there a chocolate lover? Chocolate's one of my favorite things. Chocolate and chips are my 2 biggest weaknesses that I love.
And Leslie, if you do the free sample, you should get a capsule and a chewable. So if you want to try our chewable formula, that's how you could do that. If you click our About Us and you click the support group handouts here too, this is where all of our handouts are at. This is our live events. These are our support groups. These are everything. And the ones that we talked about tonight are down here at the very bottom. Okie dokie. I want to show you guys. I'm going to stop doing this real quick. Mm-hmm. And this is what the chocolate bars look like. They are... I don't think I'm going to open this right now, but it's the size of the packaging, and they should be back in fall. So I hate to tease you guys, but they will be back.
Because they're kind of hard to open. That's probably why she's not opening it.
Yeah, I don't want to open it. And also, I think that these ones I have are expired anyway, so I don't really want to open them. These are the older ones from last year, I think. But yeah, so these will be back in a couple months. We will definitely send out an email and a post for those as well, because those are a big hit with everybody. And then I want to show you guys our Crowdcast channel, and then I guess we'll let them loose.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, so much. I want to share our discount code too for being here tonight.
Yeah,
I'm going to share that, Brittany, if that's okay.
Okay, absolutely, yeah. All right. She probably. Yeah, I think you froze a little bit, but that's okay. All right, guys. So I will repost this link in the chat too for the Crowdcast channel. If you're not already following us, this button here that says following will be blue and it will just say follow on it. If you go ahead and click that, you'll get notifications and updates on when we're going live, and you'll also get notifications on new upcoming topics as well. So here's our 3-part series with Amy that Brenda was talking about earlier. And the first one's just going to be kind of very laid back. We're not going to be doing anything crazy. We're going to be talking about comfy outfits to work out in and, just the essentials kind of thing. Tips for hair loss after weight loss surgery. I know a lot of people struggle with that, and we're finally doing a live on that as well as the fall recipes that Brenda was talking about. Now, this one is going to be hopefully huge. We're trying to make it really, really big. This support group that we're having in February is going to be a self-care giveaway. And I don't want to say too much more information because I kind of want it to be a surprise, but there's going to be
hopefully lots and lots and lots and lots of giveaways.
Yes.
A ton of them, we hope. So
mark your calendar for February support group, because that's when we'll be doing that. And then all the past events that we've done are right down here. So here's the Whole Foods that we did last week, Dr. Susan Mitchell. This one was so much fun to do with Marty and Patty with the OAC.
We've done about, I'd say close to 45 of them now, past events. So there's lots of different things to find topics on, just to sit back and watch.
And you know what's nice about these two guys is you don't have to necessarily watch them. Most of them don't have handouts, I would say. So you can just listen to it as if you were listening to a podcast or something. Mm-hmm. So it's really nice. I'm going to go ahead and post our link to our Crowdcast channel, but that's all I have for all of you beautiful people, unless Brenda has anything else.
I don't think so. I think that's everything. It looks like there might be one more question, unless I missed it. Is there, okay, I just didn't finish closing it out, was the discount code. The discount code is August SG for 10% off your order now until the end of the month. So I just posted that in the chat box. August with a capital A, SG stands for support group. Mm-hmm. So August, capital S, at capital G for 10% off your order. So you go through, if you decide to purchase something off the ProCare website, you just use that discount code and it'll give you 10% off. And how do I find the handouts again? Basically you'll go to the ProCare Health page. Oh, Brittany, you're there.
Yeah, I'm just going to show her again real quick. So sometimes for some weird reason, if you click this drop-down box, it won't show the support group handouts. I don't know what that's about. So if you're not seeing it when you click the About Us page, click this ProCare Health logo up here at the top left corner, and then it should show up for you, and then you'll just click there. Look, there's us. And these are all the handouts, and the ones that we talked about with tonight are at the very bottom. The most recent ones are going to be at the bottom, unless otherwise noted. But yeah, that should be it. You're welcome.
Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for sharing and commenting and being a part of the group. And we hope you enjoyed it. We really do, don't we, Brittany?
Yes, and thank you for understanding about the technical difficulties.
I don't know why that happens, but it does, doesn't it?
My IT person's sleeping right now, so.
Who's that? Your cat, Leonard?
Yeah, Leonard. Leonard's sleeping, guys.
Somebody said, Deborah says, blessings to everyone. I enjoyed as much. Brittany and Brenda. And Denise says, thank you so much. It's not your fault. Well, it's just life, I guess. Just go with the flow. That's what we talked about tonight, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Stop labeling everything as good or bad. Yep.
It just is. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks, guys. Thank you so much, and enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend, and the rest of your summer, because it's almost
done. Yep, it's almost over. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you guys next month, and join us on our weekly live events too. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Gerald.